Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Dawnshaee. This is Intro to Eclecticism, and today I am giving you all my June wrap up. So, my June book goal was 5 books, and I ended up reading 6, which I'm not even all that mad about because June was my birthday month, and if you did not see my birthday book haul, you can watch it right after this one. Just watch it. But June was my birthday month, and I decided to take a week and a half off from reading. So I was able to knock out 6 books, and I do want to share them with you today. But before I do that, I do want to let you know that I also write occasionally. So if you want to check out my writing, you can go to introtoeclecticism.com. You can also check me out on Instagram at introtoeclecticism, where I post a little bit more, and I actually talk back to people who DM me about books, or if you have any book suggestions, you can send them my way. I have a problem with impulsively buying, so if you recommend a book and you're like, you need to read this, Dawnshaee, your life is incomplete because you have not read this, I'm going to buy it because I have a problem. And I also have an Amazon link where basically I have a list of all the books that I want to add to my own personal library. And so if you're feeling inclined to, I'm not asking you to, but if you're feeling inclined to, and you see a book on there and you're like, I want to give Dawnshaee with this, I'm not going to turn it down. I promise you I'm not. But all of that aside, I want to go ahead and talk about how June was for me. And so in my last wrap up, I decided to do it by how I rated it, but this one I'm gonna do it by the order I read each book in. So I started out June with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So this was this was recommended to me by my 7-year-old cousin, and she was like, you really should read it, you really should read it. And so I was never into the Harry Potter series or just the movies or anything in general, but I like that they're all the books are out now, because then I can read this and then I can go and watch the movie, which I ended up doing. But I want to say that I rated Harry Potter 4 stars, and I liked it. I really did like it. But I feel like the only reason I didn't give it 5 stars is because I'm so behind on the series, and I think I'm past that primitive age for Harry Potter, the excitement, that adrenaline rush that comes with Harry Potter. I don't think I was able to fully reach that, but I do understand why so many people are huge Harry Potter fans. And so I'm not gonna knock you, but I did love it. I am going to take my time with getting the next few books because I'm really not rushing for it. There's other books that I want to get to before I get through this series, but I am glad that I finally decided to step outside of my box and step into my Harry Potter bag, which I think I might actually like the fantasy world, if that's what that is. I'm kind of dipping my toe into the fantasy world. I'm okay with Harry Potter. I'm okay with it. So I came down off my high of Harry Potter, and I was like, okay, I want a little bit more magic. I want to see more. So I told you, I impulsively buy. So I seen Black Girl Unlimited, and it says The Remarkable Story of a Teenage Wizard. I didn't read anything about it before I bought it, but I bought it, and I was like, oh shoot, a black wizard. I just came from Harry Potter, now I'm about to get into a black girl who's a wizard, and that's not what this is. That's not what this is at all. This is a memoir, a coming of age story about this girl named Echo Brown, who is the writer, and it really touched my heart, because it's just there are so many things we witness our parents or our guardians doing, or just the way life occurs, and it's how the bleepity bleep did that happen? How does this work? How did that even happen? And so we're seeing it as magic, when really it's just people doing what they have to do to get what they need to provide for their kids, for their family, and for themselves. So it was just remarkable reading this, honestly. I'm just thinking about all the wizardry that she referred to in here. And so I do kind of want to give a mini spoiler. It's not a big spoiler, it's like a mini spoiler. But like, her mom would make food appear when they didn't really have much food, and her mom was having to do certain things in order to get groceries and get food, and she was just like, wow, my mom is amazing. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But Black Girl Unlimited, I'm recommending this to everyone. I don't care who you are. I want you to read this. I want you to read about Echo's life and just where she came from and the magical women that she surrounded herself with. And not even that she chose to surround herself with, but who were available to her. And so it made me just recognize that, like, as a Black woman, I'm an example for other Black girls. I am here to be of access, and not even just Black girls, just all people, but more specifically Black girls, like that resemblance, that recognition. Sorry, my windows are open. But yeah, just having that person that you can look to or reach out to when you need to. This is an inspirational story in order for you to do that. But definitely 5 stars. 5 freaking stars. So after Black Girl Unlimited, I was like, okay, I'm on this Black girl kick. And then it was my birthday, and so if you watched my last video, I was gifted Parable of the Brown Girl, The Sacred Lives of Girls of Color. And as you can see, I really like this book. Also another 5 stars. When we're talking about like the Black woman experience and just like what Black women go through, like so many of our stories are so similar because the way Black women are treated in general makes our experience similar. And so in the Parable of the Brown Girl, it's written by Khristi Lauren Adams. Basically, it's a bunch of short essays about different girls that Khristi has worked with in relation to her own experience growing up as a Black girl. It's a beautiful book. These stories, like, they hit home. Like, I was crying. So obviously 5 stars is necessary, but the things that young brown and Black girls go through in life are put into here to give you a brief glimpse. Like, this is only like 100 and so pages. You can't capture everything in one book, but if you are seeking a general understanding of what it's like to be a Black girl growing in this world, like growing like for me personally, as a dark-skinned girl, like, there was another girl in her who was battling with her skin color and like just the colorism within the Black community. Woo, child. It was like, oh my gosh, like, I just wanted to hug every single one of these girls because I'm like, this isn't fair. Like, we shouldn't be treated this way just because we're Black girls. And please read it. Please read it so we can talk about it, because I'm gonna talk your ear off talking about this. So after that, I purchased this next book like a few months ago, and I was kind of holding off on it because I didn't really want to read another memoir or an autobiography, especially with how intense and precedent the issue is around racism and being a revolutionary and trying to change the world and just making an impact so that people can understand that Black people aren't the problem. But you guys, Huey P. Newton's revolutionary suicide was everything I needed plus more. Like, I want to first say that I hate the way the world has portrayed this man as being like foul and aggressive and just evil. Like, in general, the entire Black Panther Party, like, growing up in school, like, no one really wanted to talk about Huey because they was making it seem like because he exercised his right to bear arms that he was this crazy man. And that's not even the case. Like, when I was first reading it, I was like, Huey's so arrogant. He is so arrogant, but he's like that little black boy that knows his strength, but doesn't really know how to show it or use it in a productive manner. And so I was just like, I was reading it and I was getting frustrated with him because I'm like, Huey, why are you doing this? But I also had to recognize, like, as a young black man, like, he was a scrawny little guy. He was frail and he was light skinned, and people would pick on him. Like, he was constantly being picked on because they seen his stature as being weak, and he always had to prove his anyways, he always had to prove himself wrong, or prove everyone wrong, about that. Completely threw me off. He had to prove everyone wrong about what they believed about him. And so as I was reading through, like, what he was saying and the writing, oh my gosh, like, you can tell how much effort and how much commitment he put into studying the encyclopedia and the dictionary so that he could expand his vocabulary and, like, actually learn how to read and basically say everything that he wanted to say. And I don't know, it just bothers me knowing that Huey was killed by another black man. But this doesn't end with, like, his death. It ends with the way the Black Panther Party dissolved and just, like, what he learned and things like that. But I don't want to give this all away. I want you to read it, so please, 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 I beg you, read this. The 5th book, I'm just going to leave this short. What to Say Next by Julie Buxbaum was so awful. I ranted about it on Instagram, so I'm not going to do it here. If you want to watch that, you can look at my book review highlight. But this, I graciously gave it 2 stars because it was so bad. If you've seen Atypical on Netflix, that's literally what this is, but like a watered down crap version that shouldn't even been published. But I'm telling you, like, this is a compilation of cliches. I don't even want to rant about it again, but it was so, oh my gosh, I needed to pick me up, and this did the complete opposite. It literally pissed me off. I spent a whole morning reading this, and it just was a waste of time. If you want it, let me know. I'll ship it to you. But the last book that I read for June did give me a pick-me-up. It made me so happy. It's been circulating around Bookstagram, and everyone was reading it, and I see why. It was just released at the beginning of June. I pre-ordered this. I was so ready. I told y'all about it in my birthday book haul. But it is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. And it was the cutest story. Like, the cutest. I gave it 4.5 stars. It's young adult. I think I'm starting to become a little too old for young adult. But it was still so cute. So cute. So basically, it's about this girl named Liz who wants this scholarship. She's been banking on this scholarship and waiting for it, and she doesn't receive it. And so her backup plan is to run for prom queen and get a scholarship that her school offers. She's from a small town that doesn't accept anything that is out of the norm. So she's trying to preserve herself and keep herself in a shell as a black girl with big hair. She's always wearing it like back in a slick ponytail so that she's not drawing attention to herself. She's also in the band, and she's just like one of those high school girls that's like she wants to branch out, but she's so scared because a lot of people aren't willing to accept that. But anyways, she ends up falling in love with this other girl named Mac, and it is so cute. It was the perfect book because this is the only book that I read for Pride Month, which I'm sad about, but I'm also glad that it was this one that I could give my all to and accredit the month to, because it was, y'all, it's so beautiful. And I don't want to give any spoilers, but I'm glad with the ending. I love a fairy tale. I love the beauty of life. And so, yeah. Gave it 4.5 stars. I probably should just round it up and give it 5. So, but yeah, it was a really, really good book. Get your hands on this. I guess since I'm here, I can talk a little bit about what I'm planning to read for July. So, I'm starting out with The Vanish and Have by Britt Bennett. Yo. This, I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. I keep reading stuff that is so triggering, so gonna make me cry every single day. But Britt Bennett is a phenomenal writer. Like, I've seen so many people compare her writing style to James Baldwin, and I can see it. I can see it. Like, the way she describes things, I feel like I'm there right now so far. I should finish this by the end of today, but y'all, amazing. I did like a poll on Twitter and Instagram about how many books should I read for the month of July, and most people said to read 5, and then a runner-up was 7. So I'm gonna show you 5 books that I'm planning to read this month. So The Vanish and Have is one. I also want to read Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson, just because I really want to pre-order her new book coming out in September, which is Grown. And it looks really, really good, and everyone says so many great things about Monday's Not Coming. So I'm like, let me introduce myself to Tiffany before I pre-order, but I did almost pre-order it today, but I didn't. Y'all should be proud because I didn't. Another one that I'm planning to read is Trevor Noah's Born a Crime. So many people was like, girl, read that. And so I'm gonna do it this month, I promise. Last month I did not follow my TBR list. Don't judge me. I'm one of those people that read with my emotions. So yeah, I'm gonna read this. And the 4th book is The Souls of Black Folks by W.B. Du Bois. I've said this time and time again. Dedicating at least 1 book per month to something that is heavily influential within the literary community pertaining to black folks in our history. So I'm planning to do 1 book per month, and that's going to be the one for July. And then the last book is a buddy read with my lovely boyfriend. We're reading The Great Alone. So it has 31 chapters. He's really discouraged by the fact that it's over 500 pages, but I'm like, we can do this. We were watching someone else's video. If I remember who it is, I'm going to link it below. But yeah, we was watching, and she was like, she threw this book. It made her cry, it made her scream, made her laugh, made her happy, and I was just like, we need that. And so we ordered it, which is why we have a lot of double copies of books, because we read together. It's something that we like to do, and I don't mind. But yeah, it has 31 chapters, so 1 chapter per day for the month of July, and that is going to be my 5th book. I'm more than likely going to read more, but I'm also going to pace myself since I'm not working from home anymore. It might take me a little bit longer to finish books, but that's all I really have today for my June wrap-up and my July TBR list. There are so many books I want to read, so much I want to get to, but you know, with time it will happen. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you really liked me and just the overall experience. If you did, please don't forget to give this a thumbs up and also subscribe. I want to do a giveaway on my Instagram, so please give me a follow at Intro to Eclecticism. I have this book that I really want to give out, so if you comment on this with saying my favorite emoji is, and then you link it, well, you put it, then that's gonna give you double entry. So until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.
Pete Rock, but for that Benz I get CL love, so I switch my girls around like 3L Dub. I'm calling, maybe I'm selfish. I want you to myself, I can't help it. All my